Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're cutting straight to the heart of something pretty big, often talked about, maybe sometimes a bit confused.
Mm.
The law of attraction.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. We've gathered some really foundational material, the core texts, you could say.
And the aim is to give you a clear, practical blueprint. Like, how does this actually work in shaping your life?
Exactly. And this isn't just, some passing fad. We're talking about sources that people like Dr. Wayne Dyer really championed. He called these teachings, I think the quote was, the most powerful guidance in the world.
Wow. Publishing milestone too, right? Louise Hay said something similar.
She did, credited them with giving simple, actionable steps for finding well-being, figuring out your destiny, really practical stuff.
Okay, so that kind of endorsement, well, it means we should probably pay attention. So, our mission today is pretty straightforward. Let's try and give you, the listener, the sort of fundamental operating manual for this reality we're in.
Bypassing the hype, getting down to the mechanics, how we create things, or maybe more often, how we kind of unknowingly block what we want.
Right. Okay, let's start with that foundation then. The mechanism of creation itself.
Yeah. So the core concept is the law of attraction. And it's simple, really, like attracts like, or similarity attracts.
Okay.
The sources are very clear. Everything, absolutely everything, including your thoughts, is energy. It's vibrating.
Even just a passing thought.
Even a passing thought. It's not just an abstract idea in your head. It's an active, real, measurable, magnetic signal. Think of it like a little broadcasting station, an attraction point.
So we're all transmitters, constantly sending out signal.
Constantly. And here's the kicker. The universe, the law of attraction, it acts like this huge receiver.
Right.
And a mirror. It responds exactly to the magnetic field, the vibration you're putting out.
It doesn't care about the words then, just the feeling.
It operates on the essence, the vibration. This is so important. It doesn't really register no or don't. So if you're intensely focused on how bad your job is or how much you fear being in debt.
Even if you're saying, I don't want this debt.
Right. The universe picks up the strong signal of bad job or debt. It gets the essence of what you're vibrating, regardless of whether you intellectually want to get away from it.
Okay, that really clarifies why focusing on the negative can be such a trap. But it's hard, isn't it? When you're facing something real like, I don't know, serious money problems or illness.
Yeah.
It's natural to focus on the problem.
It absolutely is. That's the central challenge for most people. And that's why the system includes something to help bypass just trying to think differently, which can be hard. It's the emotional guidance system, the EGS.
EGS, okay.
Your emotions are the feedback. Because that magnetic field, that vibration, it's often subconscious. You need something to tell you what you're actually broadcasting. And that's your feelings.
So my emotions are telling me what signal I'm sending out.
Exactly. They're your built-in magnetic translator. They show you right now, in this moment, if your current thought frequency is lining up with that natural state of well-being, which, according to these sources, is the default of the universe. It's always flowing.
A translator. I like that. Why is calling it a translator so important rather than just, how we feel?
Because a translator just gives you information about where you are. It doesn't judge. Good feelings, joy, passion, appreciation, they mean low resistance. You're lined up. You're allowing that flow of well-being and your desires.
And bad feelings, fear, anger, frustration.
They're just indicators of high resistance. They're not you being bad or failing. They're like a GPS saying recalculating. Your current thought is vibrating in a way that's actually pushing against the desire you've launched. It's canceling the signal.
And there's a scale for this, right, to help navigate it?
Yes, a really useful one. The 22-point emotional guidance scale. It goes all the way from joy, empowerment, that feeling of knowing, down to fear, despair, powerlessness at the bottom.
22 levels of feeling.
But the crucial thing is not to see it as good versus bad. It's just a map of frequency. Higher numbers mean more resistance. Lower numbers mean less resistance. It clarifies the goal.
Which isn't necessarily to jump straight to joy from despair.
Absolutely not. That's usually impossible anyway.
Yeah.
The goal is always just to find a thought that feels a little bit better, a thought that offers some relief. Moving just one step up that scale is a huge magnetic shift.
So moving from feeling, say, really depressed, up to just feeling bored. That's actually progress.
Massive magnetic progress. Boredom has way less active resistance than depression. Even moving from deep sadness or despair up to feeling angry can be a positive shift, magnetically speaking.
Angry? Really? Society tends to see anger pretty negatively.
Magnetically, though, anger often involves more energy, more personal power than the complete passivity of despair. It's a higher frequency, less resistant. So yeah, it's an improvement on the scale. The scale helps you aim for incremental relief, not impossible leaps. It's a tool, not a judgment.
Okay, this makes sense. If well-being is the natural state, always flowing,
Yeah.
where does all this resistance come from? Why do we get stuck?
It ties right into what the sources call the 3 steps of creation. Step 1 is asking. This happens automatically. Life shows you contrast, something you don't like, and boom, a new desire is born. You don't even have to use words.
So wanting things is natural, automatic.
Completely. Step 2 is the universe answers.
Yeah.
Instantly. That improved situation, that solution, that desire, it's created vibrationally. It exists.
Okay. So where's the problem? If
Then-
we ask and it's answered?
The problem almost always is step 3, receiving.
Hmm.
Or, as they often call it, allowing. Resistance is the only thing that stops you from experiencing the desire that's already been answered vibrationally.
Wow. So you're saying the dream job, the better health, the money, the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
it's already there, vibrationally speaking, just waiting for us to tune into its frequency.
That is the absolute core premise. It's done, waiting for you to allow it. And there's a great analogy they use about wanting a new car. Let's say your current car is old, unreliable, always breaking down. You desperately want a new one. So you've asked, step 1, and the new reliable car vibrationally exists, step 2.
Got it.
But then, every morning, you get in the old clunker. You sigh about the ripped seat. You complain to your partner about the weird noise it's making. You worry about the next repair bill. You feel frustrated, maybe even a bit hopeless about it.
Yeah. Okay. So what signal am I sending out then?
You're broadcasting the frequency of the old car's problems, the very things that made you want the new car in the first place. The desire for the new car is there, waiting, but your dominant vibration, your point of attraction, is focused on broken down, expensive repairs, frustration.
So I'm basically holding the new car at bay with my focus on the old one.
Exactly. And that feeling, the frustration, the worry, that's your EGS. That's the indicator light flashing saying, hey, your current thought is vibrating opposition to what you want. The feeling of lack isn't proof the new car can't come. It's proof your vibration is currently blocking it.
Framing it as actively canceling the signal. That makes a lot of sense. But, life is busy. We have responsibilities, family, work, commitments. Doesn't focusing so much on your own emotional state feel a bit, well, selfish? Or irresponsible even?
He says the selfishness aspect, the sources tackle this head on. They argue it's actually the most necessary kind of selfishness. Think about it. What's the best, most powerful gift you can give to your kids, your colleagues, the world?
Well, ideally, being helpful, supportive.
Right. And can you really be truly helpful and supportive if you're feeling overwhelmed, resentful, stressed out, or just generally low vibration? If you're disconnected and in resistance, you're kind of magnetically dragging things down. You literally don't have access to your best insights, your best energy.
So your own alignment, your own happiness, is actually the foundation for being able to contribute positively.
It's the prerequisite. You fill your own cup first, so you actually have something good to overflow to others. You tune into well-being for you, and then you become a source of it.
And this doesn't take away from others. Like, there's enough well-being to go around.
Absolutely. That's a key point. Unlike some physical resources that seem finite, vibrationally, there's no competition. The universe expands to accommodate all desires. Your success, your joy, your receiving what you want doesn't prevent anyone else from receiving theirs. It actually adds to the overall expansion.
Okay, that's a relief. Let's shift to really practical application then. What if someone listening is, really low on that scale? Maybe dealing with chronic worry or feeling pretty hopeless, like a 20 or 21 out of 22? The idea of just thinking positive feels fake. Impossible, even.
Totally understandable. And forcing positivity when you feel awful usually backfires anyway. The sources are really clear. You don't have to make huge jumps. You don't need to fix the external problem right now. You just need to reach for a thought that feels slightly better, even a tiny bit of relief.
Incremental steps.
Incremental steps towards relief. That's the whole game. If you're deep in despair, trying to force yourself to feel joyful is just going to highlight the gap and make you feel worse. Your EGS knows it's not genuine.
So where do you start from despair?
Maybe you can find just enough energy to feel blame or anger. Like we said, anger might not feel good in the conventional sense, but vibrationally, it has more energy, less passivity than despair. It's a step up.
So you acknowledge the anger.
Acknowledge where you are, yeah. Then see if you can gently pivot. From anger, maybe you can reach for discouragement, which is still low, but less intense than rage. From discouragement, maybe you can find pessimism. Then maybe a flicker of hopefulness.
One step at a time. Feeling for the relief.
Exactly. You just keep reaching for the next slightly better feeling thought. It's the cumulative effect of these small shifts that really changes your overall magnetic signal, reducing that resistance bit by bit.
It reframes the goal, doesn't it? It's not about instant bliss. It's about consistently seeking relief.
Precisely. And for a really simple, powerful way to practice this, to train your magnetic field towards less resistance, the sources offer the Appreciation Rampage, Method 1.
Appreciation rampage. Tell us about that.
It's exactly what it sounds like, but the key is genuine appreciation. You deliberately look around your immediate environment or think about your life and find things you can easily and honestly feel appreciation for.
Not necessarily the big stuff you're struggling with.
No, start small. Things that are undeniable, like, wow, this coffee smells amazing, or that's a beautiful tree outside, or I really appreciate that the sun is shining today, or even just this chair is comfortable.
So you're practicing the feeling of appreciation on easy targets, like lifting small weights first.
Perfect analogy. You're training the muscle of non-resistance. When you genuinely appreciate something, resistance just dissolves. In that moment, your vibration raises. You instantly become more of a match to the good things you desire.
And the key is that it has to feel best, right?
Yeah.
Not just saying the words.
Absolutely critical. If you're saying, I appreciate my car, but you're feeling frustration about it, it doesn't work. That's just resistance disguised as an affirmation. You have to find things that genuinely spark even a little flicker of warmth, ease, or pleasure when you focus on them.
That feels like the core takeaway then. Your emotional guidance system, your EGS, is basically your internal GPS.
That's a great way to put it.
Once you accept that your feelings are showing you your magnetic direction, whether you're moving towards what you want or away from it, the whole journey gets simpler, doesn't it? Towards health or money or relationships.
Yeah, the analogy used in the material is traveling from Phoenix to San Diego. If you're driving along and you suddenly see road signs for Denver, Colorado.
You know you've taken a wrong turn somewhere.
Right. You don't panic, you don't blame the road or the signs, you just recognize you're pointed the wrong way for your destination, San Diego, and you calmly adjust your direction.
So bad feelings are just like seeing a sign for Denver when you want to be in San Diego.
Exactly. Your current feeling tells you your current vibrational location. Your desire is San Diego. If you feel bad, anxious, frustrated, worried, you're vibrationally heading towards Denver. The moment you find a thought that brings relief, that feels better.
You've turned the car back towards San Diego. And you wouldn't keep driving back and forth, right? Drive towards San Diego, feel bad, turn around, go back to Phoenix, start again.
But that's kind of what we do mentally, isn't it? We get a little momentum going towards what we want, feel good for a bit, then hit a bump, focus on the problem, feel bad, and vibrationally turn right back around.
Letting those resistant thoughts take over again.
The feeling is the indicator. Just monitor the signal, gently steer towards thoughts that feel better. You don't have to force the journey or obsess about the timing. Just keep course correcting towards relief.
So maybe the final thought to leave everyone with is this. What if you really accepted that every good feeling, even a little bit of relief, means you're pointed directly towards everything you desire? And every bad feeling just means you're temporarily pointed away, like seeing that Denver sign.
How much easier would it be to just relax a bit? Trust the process, maybe even enjoy the journey of managing your own thoughts and feelings.
Because ultimately that journey, that emotional navigation, is what determines how quickly and easily San Diego shows up.
Focus on finding that next better feeling thought. The rest really does seem to follow.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.